Academy of Arts University Urban Nights update is next. Coming up, President Trump makes an announcement about DACA.
The fake weed that killed 2 and injured dozens of others.
The happiest place on earth just got a little more expensive.
And the San Francisco restaurant with $1 million view. All that and more coming up on Urban Nights Update. DACA is dead. President Trump spent Easter Sunday tweeting that there will no longer be a deal to legalize and protect immigrants known as Dreamers. In his first tweet, he wished everyone a happy Easter. An hour later, he tweeted that laws such as catch and release is the reason that Border Patrol aren't properly doing their job. And because of that, there will no longer be a deal for DACA. He is now urging congressional Republicans to pass an anti-immigration legislation and blaming Democrats for the lack of legislation to protect the Dreamer.
Protesters in Sacramento have taken it to the streets, demanding that officers involved in the killing of Steven Clark be fired. Clark was an unarmed African-American man who was fatally shot by Sacramento police officers. An autopsy shows he was shot 8 times, most of them in his back. The officers had ordered him to show his hands instead of raise his hands, in which Mr. Clark may have been doing before being shot. He had been holding a cell phone and shot while in his grandmother's backyard. Protesters have become even more angry after a sheriff's vehicle struck one demonstrator and then drove off. The protester was taken to the hospital. An investigation of that incident is underway. Louisiana police have released new body camera footage from the police officers who were involved in the Alton Sterling killing in July of 2016. This is another case of a black man shot by white officers. The video shows Officer Blaine Salamone repeatedly telling Sterling that he is going to shoot him in his head. Moments after, Sterling was tasered and then fatally shot. Salamone has since been fired.
It seems that there are protests around the country now, most notably that impact the cause of youth. Gary Davis coordinating today's round discussion table about youth protesting what they think is right.
Hello, I'm here with Danny, L, and Christian. Topic today is student protests. With all the marches going on so far this year, do you feel like the youth is showing us that they're ready to be our future leaders, and what exactly are they showing us?
Well, I've just got to say, when I was a youth in school, I didn't see nearly as much political activism as I do today, and I think just that huge leap in young folk getting involved in politics and in their current event issues is a huge step in America's, in a good positive direction.
I mean, I definitely agree. I have seen certain interviews where really young kids, it just seems like they didn't completely understand what they were fighting for, and I wish that we could educate the youth more, because we should definitely be helping generations younger than us. But I definitely think that it's a great thing that they're trying to take action for something that they believe in.
I honestly agree also. I think the generation is taking a huge step. They're showing a lot of courage, a lot of bravery, the ability to just fight for what you believe in without anybody, without taking any opinions is a really great thing that they're doing. So I'm all about it.
Yeah, I definitely think the youth is making strides. What about with the student protests at Howard University, that they're standing outside saying that they're not going to leave until their 9 demands is met, one which has already been agreed on? How do you feel the rest of them will be met?
Well, I feel like the student walkouts for the Stoneman Douglas High School have proven pretty effective and gaining traction towards a major social event. So I think these could also be very effective. Just depends on the nature of the demands mostly.
I think it's a really serious matter what's going on over there, just because the only one that's been met is for them to actually take care of their youth that's going there. And then one of the other ones was advocating for sexual assault victims and to help women and create a program that would help get the word out that, look, this is going on. So I definitely believe that they should go through with the demands just because they're asking for respect and they're asking for help with their student body. So.
I think some of the demands might be met, but one of the demands I think won't be met is the one with disarming the police officers on campus. You know, with all the school shootings going on, and this is crazy world out there. I don't think they're going to disarm, you know, the cops on campus just because, you know, the students are demanding it. I wish it would happen, but it's kind of far-fetched right now.
Yeah, safety is really important. What do you guys feel like is an effective way for the youth to be heard even if they can't be out there protesting with everyone else?
Well, like I said, it's a generational thing. This generation has definitely grown up with a huge influence from social media. I think that's a really good way to get the word out. I think the youth of the nation generally have a lot to say, and recently there's been a lot of people paying really closer attention to the young folks than there would have been, you know, say 15 or 20 years ago.
Yeah, I definitely believe social media. I mean, you can make a video about anything now, you can post about everything, and people pay attention to it. There's a huge following on social media, and so I definitely agree with that.
Some things I think they could do are, cause I know these kids have been at Howard, they've been out there since like last week. They haven't went home to shower or to eat or anything like that. So I think, you know, some of their friends should, like, you know, bring them water bottles or food or, you know, just stuff to keep them going while they're out there, and, you know, start some petitions or, you know, things like that. You know, if they don't want to be out there, it could also, like, you know, just be their support team, you know, at home.
Yeah, definitely. Well, with that being said, that's all the time we had for today. Student protest is definitely a big influence, and join us next week for the topic.
Thanks, Gary, for that amazing roundtable. Here at the Academy of Art, there's a new group in town. Though they have not been together for long, these 5 young men have caught early success.
It's not gonna work for you. Nobody can equal me.
Black Epiphany is a collective of young individuals showcasing their talents through all forms of social media. The group consists of a DJ, an actor, a musician, and a creative director, with one common goal: to entertain.
I guess what I bring to Black Epiphany is the entertainment aspect side, a little bit of great energy and positivity.
The actor of the group, Michael Houston, was recently cast as the lead role of the Academy of Art production 6 Degrees of Separation. Although pleased with his performance, he wants to take the group outside of the Academy.
That's our base, that's our base, that's our home, that's what we love. But we want to do things outside, make people know around like the Bay Area, who we are. Just California, just take over the world.
Pre-game, you already know that it's going up. We're just young and live, and we only out here trying to have some fun.
Marlon B has released 3 singles and is currently working on an EP, but doesn't want to settle for just music.
In the future, I hope to bring more events, more posts to our Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff, and just really building up our brand so that we can go worldwide and really showcase the world what we can do.
Olympic bronze medalist Balade Ajamale is known for his track career, but he intends to use that fame to boost the Black Epiphany brand.
I've been verified on Instagram, verified on Twitter, and so I'm just using that in my track career to highlight Black Epiphany as well. I'm also in charge of the creative. I'm a creative director, and what I do is just make sure everything is made the right way.
Look out for the Black Epiphany EP and podcast coming soon.
For more on Black Epiphany and their upcoming events, you can find them on all their social medias at Black Epiphany.
Stephen Colbert, host of The Late Show, has done something he never did before: apologize. A CNN article mistakenly confused Colbert's show with SNL. So now Colbert, in a tongue-in-cheek way, says he agrees with Trump that CNN lies. Colbert's comment on CNN mix-up on his show was fake news. I take everything back. I apologize. Donald Trump is a great president. Comedian Jim Carrey has been using his artistic talent to draw a series of portraits to mock President Trump and his administration. Carrie's latest creation is a portrait of Trump screaming with 2 scoops of ice cream while wearing a blue bathrobe. Carrie then jokingly tweeted, "The Smithsonian Nation Portrait Gallery says he would like to submit it as an official portrait of the 45th president, as the gallery houses portraits of all former U.S. presidents."
Former FBI Director Andrew McCabe is shutting down his GoFundMe campaign to raise money for his legal defense fund. He has raised more than $500,000. His spokeswoman announced that the site will stop accepting contributions as of 7 p.m. tonight, as the money has more than tripled the original goal for former number 2 official at the FBI was fired by attorney Jeff Sessions just 2 hours before he could retire and begin collecting his full retirement benefits, bringing his more than 20-year career to a dramatic halt. In a statement, McCabe said, "Hopefully our efforts, fueled by his incredible support, will encourage others to stand up for themselves and the truth as well." Former Veterans Affairs Secretary David Shulkin is waging a scorched earth campaign. He is claiming he was fired. However, the White House says he quit. He has spoken with many news outlets, describing the Washington work environment as toxic, chaotic, and disrespectful. Hours after President Trump fired Shulkin, it was announced that he would be replaced by White House physician Ronnie Jackson. The issue of whether Shulkin quit or was fired is crucial in the process of deciding who will replace him. The president can temporarily fill a vacancy at the federal agency if the current office holder dies or resigns. However, if fired, the federal law doesn't specify the president's ability to make interim appointments. This could eventually lead to a legal challenge.
Watch out for fake weed, also known as K2 spice or fake weed. This synthetic weed has killed 2 people and has caused severe bleeding to 56 people across Chicago and areas in central Illinois. The substance has been known to contain rat poison and other dangerous chemicals that can cause bleeding gums, bloody noses, and also coughing up large quantities of blood. This synthetic weed is being distributed in gas stations, grocery stores, and even paraphernalia shops. The Department of Health is continuing to work with Centers from Disease Control to prevent the distribution from going any further. Health officials are warning that anyone who uses this synthetic weed and has a reaction needs to call 911 and seek help right away. Marijuana and yoga together is becoming a growing trend here in San Francisco. What is it and how it started? Reporter Nikki Ma has more on the topic.
The practice of yoga is known for improving flexibility, strengthening the body and mind. Canadian yoga instructor Dee Dassault thinks this activity can be improved by combining cannabis with yoga and start a whole new business.
When you're doing ganja yoga, you want to slow down the yoga practice because the whole point is to use the ganja or the cannabis to help you relax. So when you slow down, you're more likely to relax. If you slow down your breathing, you activate the parasympathetic nervous system, so the relaxing part of your nervous system. So ganja yoga is weed and yoga, but it's also weed and really slow, mindful yoga.
Being a yoga instructor for over 20 years, Dee finds that ganja yoga actually helps improving her state of mind.
I just found for me they were such a great combination. I was already doing yoga for maybe 15 years sober, and then when I started using weed, I found it made my practice so much more embodied, so much more in my body. I could lose some of the tension of my mind and just really go into the feeling. So for me it was just so much more just better.
With the pass of Prop 64, not only there are advantages, there are also some disadvantages.
People who are visiting California as a tourist can come to my class now. They don't need a medical card. But the disadvantage now is that a lot of companies, a lot of farmers are finding more legislation, more regulation. So they are not able to produce and distribute their cannabis products like before. So there's been a little bit of change. I have to invite people to bring their own now.
Besides regular yoga poses, Dee also incorporates some of her own creation into her yoga class, such as this hand massage for all the typing people have to do at work. In San Francisco, I'm Nikki Ma for Urban Nights Update.
For those of you who are interested, it's best to consult a doctor before attending.
Parents in Fremont, California aren't happy about what's happening in school. They claim that a new sex ed curriculum is too graphic to be taught for 4th graders. The parents claim that the content on the curriculum is too much too soon. While the school board stands firm in its belief that this will help the youth of nation make better life decisions later down the road. The drunken spring break is having dire consequences in Southern California. 3 teens were killed on their way back from Las Vegas when they were rear-ended into the middle of the intersection by a drunk driver. The driver, Benny Duarte, was charged with vehicular manslaughter and driving while intoxicated. The fourth team, who was not named, was able to exit the vehicle before it burst into flames. Before the incident, however, a bystander noticed Duarte's erratic driving and asked if she knew that he hit 2 sidewalks, to which the driver replied, "Really? No way." Before declining a ride home, the driver drove off.
It's going to cost you more to visit Mickey and Minnie's Mouse this spring break. Urban Nights reporter Nicole Lauer takes a look at the price hike now in effect at Disney parks.
Watch out, spring breakers hoping to visit the wonderful world of Disney this year. The theme park has raised their prices up for the second time in under 6 months. Along with the raise, Disney has now set a tier system, meaning the busier it is, the more you will pay. I took a look at what an average family of 4 trip would cost during peak season. I started by going to WaltDisneyWorld.com. From there, I chose the hotel we would stay at, picked a moderate resort to go right down the middle. After choosing the hotel and the room, you can then choose different packages to include tickets in room, or also add on a food package. I chose this because it's the easier option for families sometimes. After adding on the food package, our total came to a whopping $4,057. If you take a close look at what the prices were last year, you'll see that's an increase of over 12% in 6 months. The price increase has a lot of people wondering if Disney's even possible anymore.
I grew up going to Disney. I went a few times with my family. I enjoyed it, but I definitely see, as far as a kid's point of view, other theme parks will be just as fine.
Disney says that the price increases are to help with the new technology and hand-on experiences in the park. But some say that's not enough to pay the prices to take their family to Disney.
It would discourage me to take my grandchildren there. I just think it's too expensive, and I can take them a lot of other great places that I think they'd enjoy for less money.
We'll be sure to keep a close eye on the statistics from this year's spring break season to see how many families traveled to Disney World. Coming to you from San Francisco, I am Nicole Lauer with Urban Nights Update.
One thing you should know is that the package prices that Nicole researched does include 3 meals and 4 snacks at the various Disney restaurants and cafes.
California singer Effie Passero is making noise on this season's American Idol, where she literally had judges standing completely blown away by her special voice, even with her early success. When reporters talked to her, she made it clear there are days where she is stressed out, filled with pressure and little to no sleep, but finds a way to overcome it. Sunday on ABC, you could catch her journey continue.
Let's join Athena Smith for a look at other fun activities you can do.
Hi, welcome to this week's latest in entertainment, where a lot has been happening and we're here to keep you updated. John Krasinski is on triple duty as writer, director, and star. The star has usually chosen to work in comedies, but has decided to make a family movie and said it just so happened to be a scary family movie. Krasinski worked alongside wife Emily Blunt in his thriller. Here's a look. Well, let's see how many times we jump off our seats at the theater. If you haven't caught it yet, Roseanne is back for its 11th season, and the company is thrilled. Apparently, so is President Trump, who sent his congrats. Fashion icon Iman confronted Harper's Bazaar for lack of diversity, arguing that other brands have made an effort for the inclusion. The magazine has not. The model said there were more black models working back when she started, and there have been recently. The Reptile Classic is back. Jurassic World is releasing its sequel, which was released in 2015, and the 5th release of its Jurassic Park franchise. Here's a look on the movie for release in June.
Blue, come with me. You know you can't stay here.
Jurassic World, The Island.
You're all right. Easy, girl.
All of that is in the past.
Am I dead? Not yet, kid.
I want to show you the future.
What is that thing? They made it.
Blue! You need to get us out of here.
With less than 50 days before Meghan Markle becomes a member of Britain's royal family, a new book is being released of her life before, titled Meghan, a Hollywood Princess. Friends have commented on her wanting to be the next Princess Diana. Hundreds lined the streets of Cambridge to celebrate the life of physicist and author Stephen Hawking last Saturday. The bells of the church where his funeral was held rung 76 times, one for each year of his remarkable life. Actor Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has opened up about battling with depression and was thankful for people who gave him support and tells people not to be afraid of opening up. Check back in next week to see what's new in entertainment. Back to you, Andrew.
Thanks, Athena. You may soon be hearing about Battle Grid, a new board game that will change family game night, created by Jimmy Chen. The game is equipped with colorful cards, artfully crafted figurines, and stunning visual effects. It is played on a 24-inch Android tablet platform called Playable. This $350 platform allows you to be interactive and entertained by its technological advancements, including how it tells you the rules as the game is being played. Battle Grid is one of the 25 games that will be available on the Playable platform, which is set to be launched later this year. Now, we head over to Dante Williams for the latest in sports.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's Urban Night Update, where we will highlight baseball, softball, and track. Let's hit it off with baseball, which was able to cap off a 4-game sweep over Holy Names University. This gives the Knights their second 4-game sweep on the season and pushes their win streak to 5 games. Evan Ray and head coach Dan McDermott talked to us a little about the approach they take to the games.
Well, our whole mentality doesn't matter the level. I mean, they're still a good team. Holy Names, to me, the record might be a little bit less, not as good as the other teams, but we treat them as any other team. And so I think our mentality coming in was just get on them early, hit them hard, and stay short. And I've been working real hard at that and trying to, lessen the strikeouts and put the ball in play more. And I got to connect with a couple today, so it was nice to do.
All year long we've been preaching the value of just coming out and playing the game, no matter who it is, what the circumstances, all that, and I think we did that. We've shuffled up the pitching, shuffled up some things, and it's very important to go out there and just make a statement the first game.
With that sweep, they now move into 6th place in conference with a record of 13-11 in the Pac West and 18-15 overall. Coming up next, they head to San Diego for their first series against the Point Loma Sea Lions. Moving over to softball, it was the Knights taking on the Chaminade Silver Swords. The Knights won the first 2 games of the series to push their program record win streak to 10 games. However, that streak came to an end in Game 3 of the series with a 5-3 loss. The Knights were able to bounce back with a 1-0 win in the final game, taking the series 3-1. Freshman pitcher Brooke Larson was named NFCA D2 National Pitcher of the Week. Head coach Sonia Garnett spoke on the success of the team and the impact Brooke has.
Right now, we're staying in ball games, and when we make mistakes, we bounce right back, and I think that that's really helping us. We're getting key hits at key times. Brooke's pitching lights out. I thought Brenna threw terrific, and Hannah came in and threw a great few innings, and then Brooke came in and kind of shut it down. It's great to have Brooke to kind of call on when you need just a couple more outs, and her to come in and kind of do a good job for us. So really excited about how many scoreless innings she's thrown, and she just keeps putting the ball where she needs to. So really proud of her.
Following that series, they are also in 6th place in conference with a record of 10-6 in the Pac West and 27-12 overall. Next up, they head to Notre Dame de Namur for a 2-game series. The Urban Knights track team was in action in Florida as well as the Bay Area. In Florida, the men ran their first outdoor 4x200 and walked away with the program record of 1 minute and 27 seconds. In Hayward, Jamie Morris became the program record holder in the women's single mile with a time of 5 minutes and 16 seconds. Lastly, at Stanford, Rabah Houali recorded a time of 1 minute and 54 seconds for the 5th fastest mark in program history. That's all we have for you this week on the Urban Knights Sports Update. Make sure you tune back in next week for more.
Thanks, Dante. The Bay Area is a pretty special place when it comes to food and great locations. Nicole Lauer found a special place with unlikely setup and an unlikely view.
A new restaurant on Treasure Island is grabbing everyone's attention. Mercedes just opened up a few weeks ago, but is already making its name known in the Bay Area food scene. With its stunning view and unique food menu, Mercedes executive chef and co-founder explains why they designed the restaurant the way that they did.
We want it to be a little bit of everything for everybody. We want it to be fun. We want it to be a little escape, a little oasis, and you're on island time, so we want it to be fun, yeah.
One of the most difficult items to finalize when opening a restaurant is the menu. Mercedes' menu offers a unique variety of food for everyone.
Did a long search and a lot of testing in finding out what people's comfort foods were and what evoked memories or emotions.
Not only is Mercedes a hot new restaurant, it's also built-in shipping containers, making this one of the new economically friendly restaurants on the island. According to QSR Magazine, the shipping container build-out phase started in 2011 but quickly fizzled out. Over the last year has been making a huge comeback. The sped-up timeline of the build of the shipping container is one of the biggest advantages. Diner Meredith McGowan has never visited a place quite like Mercedes.
This place is awesome. The location's great, and it's nice and bright and cheery in here. It's delicious. The fish is really well seasoned. His fries are really good too.
Mercedes is an actual island in England where the Thames River meets the English Channel. And in Old English, it means island oasis. So that was where, the sailors back in old times would have their first refuge from the sea.
Mercedes is open 7 days a week. Coming to you live from Treasure Island, I am Nicole Lauer with Urban Knights Update.
Great view, and supposed to be good food too. Well, that's it for this edition of Urban Knights Update. I'm Christian Solorzano.
And I'm Andrew Liao. For everyone here, thanks for joining us and see you back next time.